So go ahead and fill out the top information. Remember your first and last name. And then the first one says fade a color into white. So we're gonna start off by coloring that oil pastel, nice and dark on one side. And then as you go toward the other side, you wanna start lightening up with that pressure. So just like we've practiced with pressure, with value shading, we're gonna work on that with this. So I'm going much lighter as I go to here. Then I'm gonna pick up my white. I'm gonna put a little bit where it's blended lightly, and then I'm gonna start fully white on this side and then start blending it into the other side of the green here. So you're going from dark green to a very light green. Now, when we use paint, or in this case, we're using oil pastel, it's called tinting the color, okay? So we wanna tint the color from dark green to medium green to light green. And then you can just go back over with that until it looks like it goes dark to light. So the next one is we are gonna fade two warm colors. So you can use red, orange, or yellow, but just pick two. So I gave you an example of red and yellow. It's totally up to you. If I start with this orange on this side, nice and dark, just like I did with the green, and we are filling up the entire rectangle. So don't leave any white in the rectangle, and then I'm gonna get light at the halfway point. So dark at this side and then lighter toward the center. And then I'm going to go on this side and start with my yellow and go nice and dark on this side and start fading that lightly again into the orange. So this is gonna help you work on your blending with when you get to your project. So this will give you some ideas, and I'm just putting a little more orange over the top and then yellow over the top of that so that they look more naturally blended. So they look like they're going together and not just two different colors clashing. So you can always kind of go back and forth between the two colors in the center to kind of gradually get those to go together. Okay, then our third box is fade three analogous colors. Now remember, analogous colors are next to each other on the color wheel. So three similar colors. So I noticed about our oil pastels that we got from the art supplies, we do not have a purple, but you can always make purple. You can overlap that blue and red. So just like I did above, I'm gonna go dark on one side with one color and then lighter as I go to the center. And I'm gonna do that with the green on the other side. Dark. And then blending it to the light space in the middle where they're going to meet and then overlap. So the other thing you wanna start working on is you can clean your oil pastels in between so that they don't start transferring color where you don't want it. So I'll show you that in a moment. I often have a scrap piece of paper nearby so that I can clean oil pastels, or a paper towel. You can wipe them if they've got other colors on them. So like this one has a little bit of blue on it. You can kind of just, on a spare piece of paper, just clean those up before you go to your next one here. So this one says color the leaf with a cool color on the background and its complement on the leaf. So these are two colors that are across from each other on the color wheel. So I am going to do blue and orange. So you can still do some blending in here if you want. We actually have two blues in our pack. So you could always use that light blue to blend some of the lighter areas where you want, if you want some light spaces on that leaf. And then you're gonna do the opposite color in the background space, or a negative space. So in this case, that's orange. Then you're going to outline those black lines with the corner. Make sure you have kind of a sharp edge. You can always sharpen it on a scrap piece of paper. And that'll make that leaf pop back out. So our next one is choose your own color combination to fill this pattern and outline with black. So I would suggest on these, as you go forward, just choosing colors that go well next to each other. They help each other stand out. So it could be complementary colors, or it could be analogous colors. You can decide. So yellow and purple. So let's see if I can make a purple. So if I do this background with some blue, and then I can add some red, and I can mess around with making that purple. And then I'll color the zigzags in also, because yellow and purple are opposite each other, so that should help them stand out. Then lastly, you want to outline everything just like we did with the leaf. That just helps your lines stand back out, and often we will do that in our artworks that we do with oil pastel. So enjoy practicing, and then when you are finished, go ahead and turn that in. And then you also want to go ahead and clean up those oil pastels, especially yellow. You can really see. So sometimes I just take the paper and clean that off. I like to do that before I put them away also.